I thought we did this already. I thought we took that trip to Disneyland.
Why is she wearing the exact same outfit? I mean, cringe is the only way to describe it.
Meghan Markle probably thought this Disneyland post was going to be another carefully curated, perfect family moment. Cute birthday memories, happy children, smiling parents, a relaxed California fairy tale designed to remind everyone that the Sussexes are thriving far away from royal drama. Instead, the internet turned into a full-blown detective agency within hours, because people didn't just look at the photos, they studied them. And once viewers started comparing Meghan's newest Disneyland pictures to last year's visit, the entire story suddenly started looking very different.
This is the picture that really annoyed me. Meghan, her child is meeting a princess, but we're seeing her losing her freaking mind. Everything is just so fake and orchestrated. Everything is so over the top.
At first, the similarities seemed harmless. Meghan appeared to be wearing the exact same outfit from the previous Disneyland trip. Not similar, the exact same outfit. Harry also appeared to be dressed almost identically. Then people noticed Lilibet's dress looked exactly the same too. Same color, same fit, same overall look. Even the setting looked familiar, right down to the patio area where some of the pictures were taken.
I honestly was worried that there wouldn't be anything for us to talk about today, but then Meghan Markle insists on telling us she took her kids to Disneyland and she posts a new Instagram video. I think she missed us more than we missed her.
But then came the detail that really sent social media into overdrive. Lilibet appeared barefoot in the photos, exactly like she had been during the previous Disneyland trip. And that's when the comment sections exploded.
And Lily has her freaking shoes off again. I'm sorry. That she wasn't wearing shoes last year when they took that picture where she covered their faces up with emojis. I think that it's disgusting to have your children at Disneyland or Disney World barefoot.
Because one question immediately started circulating everywhere. How could the clothes fit the exact same way an entire year later? Children grow fast, especially at that age. Shoes stop fitting. Dresses get shorter. Sleeves change length. Parents constantly buy new sizes because kids outgrow things in months, not years. So when people saw what appeared to be the exact same outfits fitting almost identically, theories started spiraling fast. Suddenly, viewers weren't asking whether the photos looked familiar. They were asking whether the footage was actually new at all. And once that theory appeared online, people started rewatching every single clip differently. Because if these weren't recent images, then why present them as a current birthday celebration?
Didn't show the children's faces, but we somehow are trying to convey that the children are having the time of their lives.
Through Meghan's faces, she shows us her like giggly over them. It's like so weird.
That's the part that turned a simple celebrity Instagram post into a full-blown royal internet controversy. Especially because Meghan's caption framed the trip as a joint birthday celebration for Archie and Lilibet, a fresh family outing, a happy new memory. But critics quickly pointed out that some of the footage looked almost impossible to distinguish from last year's content, and the timing only made the speculation worse. Reports had already been circulating that Prince Harry may have spent part of that weekend away from Meghan, allegedly in New York.
And again, Archie has been dragged from the shadows. And the headline here is, this is a joint birthday expedition. I'm sorry, but especially when you're a little child, you don't want to do a joint anything. Why can't her birthday or his birthday just be for them? Why?
Whether those reports were accurate or not, viewers immediately noticed something else. Harry barely appeared in the new content at all. No obvious candid moments, no clear recent footage, no unmistakably current family interactions, which only added fuel to the theory that Meghan may have been reposting or recycling older Disneyland material while presenting it as something new. And online, that kind of speculation spreads at lightning speed. Within hours, social media users were side-by-side comparing images, zooming into clothing details, looking at backgrounds, examining hair lengths, comparing poses. Even the smallest details became part of the conversation, because this is the problem Meghan Markle keeps running into.
Why is she wearing the exact same outfit? I guess she wants us to celebrate her and applaud her because the Princess of Wales sometimes rewears outfits, but it's like you said, it looks just like the last time we look at us meeting the Star Wars guys by what appears to be the dumpster.
People no longer casually consume her content. They investigate it. Every photo gets analyzed. Every interview gets dissected. Every video gets slowed down frame by frame. And the more polished and curated the content feels, the more aggressively the internet seems determined to pull it apart. But things didn't stop with the recycled photo theory. Not even close. Because as people kept watching the Disneyland clips, another criticism started dominating the conversation entirely. And it had nothing to do with the children. It had to do with Meghan herself.
Well, it's all the ultimate narcissistic move, right? I mean, these kids, in my opinion, their mother is a malignant narcissist. We got a photo dump of Harry and Meghan standing very close together and smiling at each other. And so I totally believe, Kinsey, that everything's fine and we're all wrong out here in these streets.
Viewers started pointing out that despite the trip supposedly being about Archie and Lilibet, Meghan somehow still appeared to be the center of almost every moment. The camera constantly focused on her reactions, her smiling, her laughing, her emotional expressions, her interactions. Even moments that should have felt centered around the children somehow felt carefully framed around Meghan's presence in the scene. And once people noticed that pattern, they couldn't unsee it. One clip in particular sparked a massive reaction online. Lilibet appeared to be meeting a Disney princess, the kind of moment most parents quietly capture because the focus is supposed to be on the child's excitement. But critics immediately pointed out that Meghan's reactions seemed to dominate the frame instead. To many viewers, the entire thing started feeling less like spontaneous family footage and more like a highly controlled image campaign.
You know, I am going to be judgmental there. I think that that's absolutely gross.
I don't think Meghan's very hygienic. We've talked about this before. And kids themselves, they're little petri dishes, you know? They catch and spread germs like crazy. To have your child barefoot, first of all, it's an affront and an assault to the rest of the rest of the citizenry trying to enjoy a day at Disney World. That's disgusting.
And honestly, that criticism has followed Meghan for years now. The more she tries to appear relatable, effortless, and authentic, the more audiences accuse her content of feeling staged. Not polished, staged. There's a difference. Polished celebrity content is normal. Every public figure manages their image to some degree. But the backlash Meghan keeps facing comes from people believing they can actually see the strategy behind the image in real time. And Disneyland may have become one of the clearest examples yet, because what should have been a harmless family post somehow turned into another debate about branding, image management, and public perception.
Remember when she was roaming around LA barefoot? And
in bathrooms, in public bathrooms.
I'm not saying it to be cruel or make fun of her.
No.
But going into gas station bathrooms barefoot and exiting and not seeming to realize how deeply unhygienic that was, that's when we all knew. I think that was before even the umbrella.
Even the decision to call it a joint birthday celebration raised eyebrows online. Some royal watchers pointed out that last year, Archie and Lilibet's birthdays appeared to receive very different levels of attention publicly. That led to criticism at the time, with some people questioning why one child seemed more publicly celebrated than the other. So now, critics believe the joint birthday framing may have been an attempt to avoid that exact backlash happening again. And whether that's true or not, the fact that people are even theorizing about it shows how skeptical audiences have become toward almost everything surrounding the Sussex brand.
Okay, so Meghan Markle, I have decided, is only and will only ever be the queen of one thing. It's the queen of cosplay. The queen of pretending to be Princess Diana.
Because at this point, viewers don't just watch Meghan Markle content anymore. They try to decode it. And for Meghan, that may be becoming a serious problem. Because when audiences stop emotionally engaging with your content and start treating it like evidence, the entire dynamic changes. Suddenly, every detail matters. Every inconsistency matters. Every missing person matters. And every attempt at creating a perfect image risks backfiring even harder than before.
Well, do you remember last year we criticized them because all Archie got was a post, and they appeared to have taken a trip for Archie's birthday. And so we got a picture of, I can't remember where, but we got a picture of him on a balcony. But then there seemed to be two parties for Lily. And so we were criticizing them last year saying, why did Lily get two parties? And so I think that's why she's changed the language to joint birthday celebration at Disneyland for these two. But you know how you were like, have we seen this before? I was like, I literally have seen this before.
But just when the Disneyland backlash was already spinning out of control, Meghan posted something else that made the situation even worse. Because while people were still debating whether the Disney footage was recycled, Meghan suddenly shifted back into full lifestyle brand mode, and the internet was not impressed. The new clips showed Meghan inside her Montecito home, filming soft-focus videos around her kitchen and pantry while promoting the carefully curated domestic goddess image she's been trying to build ever since launching As Ever. But instead of making people admire the brand, the videos triggered another wave of ridicule almost instantly. One moment especially went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Meghan's out here trying to promote herself through as ever as the most elegant, refined, etiquette and hostess expert going. And you know, when you're rolling around Disney in a wrinkled linen shirt and one of your children, a princess no less, a title you fought for even though you ran in the dead of night
Racist.
from the royals, is barefoot, I find your messaging mixed, and I have no impetus whatsoever to purchase anything you're selling.
Meghan appeared standing beside her pantry, surrounded by neatly arranged jars and products, leaning dramatically against the wall with her eyes partially closed, like she was filming a luxury perfume commercial instead of organizing jam jars, and social media absolutely tore it apart, because viewers genuinely could not understand what the video was even trying to be. A cooking show? A lifestyle campaign? A fashion ad? A scripted, candid moment? The reactions became brutal fast. People mocked the overly cinematic posing. Others said the clips looked painfully staged. Some joked that Meghan seemed less interested in showing actual products and more interested in filming herself looking emotional while standing near shelves. And honestly, this is where the criticism surrounding Meghan becomes very specific.
So I guess my first observation there is that not the loneliest woman in the world? Do you have any damn friends just walking around? And also, is poor Archie filming this? Like, what's going on?
It's not just that critics dislike her. It's that many viewers feel like they can physically see the performance happening. That's why even tiny moments end up becoming memes. Because the audience no longer sees authenticity first, they see presentation first. And the pantry videos may have pushed that criticism to a completely new level, especially because Meghan has spent years trying to position herself as elegant, relatable, sophisticated, natural, effortless, and aspirational all at once. But according to critics, the branding keeps colliding with reality in awkward ways. One minute she's presenting herself as a polished luxury figure. The next minute she's filming strangely dramatic close-ups next to jars of jam, while social media users are still debating whether her Disneyland photos were from last year. The contrast was impossible for people online to ignore.
You're basically in there going, is this thing expired? Do I risk it? That's what's going on.
Right. And you're like, to your point about contradictions, this is the same woman that allegedly wrote a dish soap company at age 11 and said it was sexist to assume women are always in the kitchen.
And then came another problem. People started bringing up the old Dior rumors again. For months, there had been speculation that Meghan desperately wanted a major luxury fashion partnership after leaving royal life. Back when reports surfaced connecting her name to Dior, the rumors exploded globally, until the brand reportedly distanced itself from the speculation entirely. That story never fully disappeared. So now, watching Meghan pose dramatically through glossy lifestyle clips immediately reminded critics of that era all over again. Because to many viewers, the videos didn't feel organic. They felt like auditions. Auditions for luxury branding, auditions for relevance, auditions for a glamorous public identity that critics believe Meghan has been chasing ever since stepping away from royal duties. And the timing couldn't have been worse, because while Meghan was posting carefully lit pantry videos and polished family content, reports about Prince Harry allegedly trying to repair relationships with the royal family were quietly circulating again in the background, which suddenly created another uncomfortable question.
I'm like, what the? I mean, I won't say it. I won't say the bad word, but give me a break. What is this? What is this?
What exactly are Harry and Meghan trying to be right now? Royal rebels? Hollywood celebrities? Political figures? Lifestyle influencers? Humanitarians? Because the public image seems to shift every few months, and that inconsistency is becoming one of the biggest problems surrounding the Sussex brand overall. Even supporters sometimes struggle to explain what the long-term vision actually is anymore. One month it's documentaries, then podcasts, then books, then jam, then inspirational speeches, then Netflix lifestyle content, then emotional family Instagram posts. The branding keeps changing, but the public skepticism keeps growing. And according to critics, that's exactly why every new Meghan project now arrives under a cloud of suspicion before people even press play. But then the story took another dramatic turn entirely. Because behind all the Disneyland drama, behind the lifestyle videos, behind the polished Instagram image, reports started resurfacing about the one thing royal insiders have feared for years: Meghan's alleged memoir. And if those rumors are true, this could become the biggest royal media storm yet. According to multiple reports, Meghan has allegedly been privately documenting her experiences for years. Journals, notes, voice memos, reflections dating all the way back to the Megxit era.
Why is she trying to be sexy? Your audience, first of all, you're showing us how to use a bookmark in the first video. That tells me everything I need to know about the IQ of your customer base, that they need directions on how to use a freaking bookmark.
The idea of a Meghan Markle tell-all book has floated around Hollywood and royal circles for a long time. But now, people believe it may finally be moving closer to reality. And suddenly, everything starts looking different when you view it through that lens. The carefully crafted public image, the emotional storytelling, the constant attempts to control narratives, the repeated emphasis on her truth. Because critics believe Meghan already understands something very important. Controversy keeps her relevant, and a memoir would guarantee global attention instantly, especially after Harry's memoir Spare became one of the most talked about royal books in modern history. Regardless of the backlash, people bought it because it felt unprecedented. A prince publicly exposing royal family tensions at that scale had never really happened before. But Meghan's potential version could be even messier.
Because these grim new social media posts of the fake Duchess at Disneyland literally using the same poses as Diana on rides is just a step towards absolute shame.
Because unlike Harry, Meghan remains one of the most polarizing figures connected to the monarchy. People either passionately defend her or passionately criticize her. There's almost no middle ground anymore, and critics already believe the book would reignite every royal war all over again. Especially if Meghan revisits old grievances, media battles, palace conflicts, security disputes, or her treatment inside the royal institution. At that point, any possibility of Harry fully reconciling with his family could collapse permanently. And that's why the memoir rumors matter so much. Because according to royal commentators, timing is everything here. If Meghan releases a deeply personal tell-all while Harry is allegedly trying to reopen communication with King Charles or Prince William, the damage could be irreversible. Not just publicly, privately too. And honestly, that may be the darkest cloud hanging over the Sussexes right now. Not the Disney photos, not the pantry videos, not even the constant online backlash, but the growing feeling that Harry and Meghan may no longer be moving toward the same future at all.
Your customers aren't male. Why are you doing that? And that's why I'm like, poor Archie, if he's filming this. What is that move?
Because once people started connecting all these stories together at the same time, the entire Meghan narrative suddenly began looking a lot more unstable than it did even a year ago. Think about it. A Disneyland post that immediately triggered online conspiracy theories. Lifestyle videos getting mocked across social media, rumors of tension behind the scenes, questions about Harry's relationship with the royal family resurfacing again, and now growing speculation about a possible memoir that could reopen every royal wound all over again. Individually, each controversy might have faded after a few news cycles, but together, they create the impression of a public image that's becoming harder and harder to control. And that's the real issue here, because Meghan Markle has always been extremely focused on presentation. Every appearance feels intentional. Every interview feels carefully worded. Every photograph feels selected for a reason. Critics have been saying for years that nothing surrounding the Sussex brand ever feels accidental.
But if you look at that first photo, what's really telling in the framing of that photo is look who's in the center of it. It's Meghan. You know, her daughter is practically blending into the princess who's kneeled down.
But the internet has changed. Audiences today don't consume celebrity culture the same way they used to. People freeze frames, they compare timelines, they analyze body language, they notice missing details, they remember old interviews. And once public trust starts slipping, even the smallest inconsistencies suddenly become massive conversations online. That's exactly what happened with the Disneyland photos. Maybe there's a perfectly simple explanation for the similarities. Maybe there isn't. But the reason the story exploded so fast is because a huge portion of the public was already primed to question everything Meghan posts. And that's a dangerous place for any celebrity brand to end up. Because once audiences start approaching your content with skepticism instead of excitement, every new post becomes a risk. Especially when your entire public identity depends on controlling the narrative.
It shook me to my core, but I'm also kind of like, Harry and Meghan, this is horrible to say out loud. Harry and Meghan have tarnished Diana in my eyes. I'm so sick of their version that doesn't match who Diana really was.
And right now, Meghan's biggest problem may be that the narrative keeps slipping out of her hands. Even her attempts at relatability often backfire. The luxury kitchen videos were clearly designed to feel aspirational and elegant. Soft lighting, slow camera movements, carefully arranged products, calm domestic energy. But instead of inspiring people, the clips ended up fueling another round of online mockery because viewers felt like they were watching someone perform authenticity instead of naturally living it. And fair or unfair, that criticism follows Meghan everywhere now. People constantly accuse her of trying too hard, too polished, too rehearsed, too curated, too aware of the camera. That's why even normal celebrity behavior somehow becomes controversy when Meghan does it. Because audiences are no longer reacting only to the content itself. They're reacting to what they believe the strategy behind the content is. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the ongoing conversation about Harry. Because while Meghan continues building lifestyle brands and media projects, Prince Harry increasingly seems disconnected from that entire world.
Who is she trying to fool here? I guess the answer is everyone.
Over the past year, royal watchers have repeatedly noticed how different Harry's public image has become compared to Meghan's. He often appears more isolated, more uncomfortable in Hollywood environments, and more focused on charity work or private appearances rather than influencer-style branding. That contrast has only intensified the separation rumors online. And once people noticed Harry's limited presence in the Disneyland content, the speculation exploded again immediately. Because whether the marriage rumors are true or not, audiences now actively search for signs of tension every single time Harry and Meghan appear publicly. That's how intense the scrutiny has become. A missing appearance becomes a headline, a delayed photo becomes a theory, an awkward interaction becomes viral analysis. And honestly, few modern celebrity couples live under this level of non-stop internet dissection. But then there's the Memoir issue, and this is where things could become truly explosive. Because if Meghan really has been documenting everything for years, the royal family drama, the media wars, the arguments, the private conversations, the emotional fallout, then the eventual release of that material could trigger another global frenzy, bigger than almost anything we've seen since the Oprah interview. The reason people are so obsessed with the possibility of Meghan writing a memoir is simple. They believe she still has stories left untold.
If you had the option, P. Diner, to interview Meghan Markle, what would be the 3 things that you would like to ask?
I would ask her, girl, did you give birth to those children?
Whether those stories are accurate, exaggerated, emotional, biased, or controversial almost doesn't matter at this point. The public fascination comes from the idea that Meghan could once again pull the royal family into months of non-stop headlines overnight. And critics believe Meghan understands exactly how powerful that possibility is. Because despite all the backlash, controversy has repeatedly kept the Sussexes at the center of global conversation. The Oprah interview dominated headlines. Harry's Spare dominated headlines. The Netflix series dominated headlines. Every major Sussex project becomes an international media event, whether people love them or hate them. And Meghan likely knows a memoir would do the exact same thing. But there's also a growing feeling that public patience may be changing. That's another reason the Disneyland backlash became so intense. Years ago, many people automatically gave Meghan the benefit of the doubt whenever criticism appeared online. But today, the reaction feels different. Harsher, more skeptical, more cynical. Critics no longer sound shocked by controversies surrounding Meghan Markle. They sound exhausted by them. And that may be the biggest shift of all. Because once public exhaustion sets in, rebuilding excitement becomes incredibly difficult. Especially when every attempt to reshape the image creates another controversy instead. At the same time, Meghan still remains one of the most talked about women in the world. And that's what makes this entire situation so fascinating. People claim they're tired of her, but they keep watching, they keep analyzing, they keep commenting. They keep debating every photo, every interview, every rumor, every appearance, every business move, every family update, every single detail. And in celebrity culture, attention is power, even negative attention. That's why this story probably isn't ending anytime soon. Not with the royal family tensions still unresolved. Not with Harry's relationship with his family still under constant speculation. Not with memoir rumors hanging in the background. And definitely not while every Meghan Markle post continues turning into a full-scale internet investigation within hours. Because at this point, the Sussex story isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It's become a non-stop global reality show playing out in real time across social media, headlines, interviews, documentaries, books, and viral comment sections. And the craziest part? Every time people think the drama is finally slowing down, something new happens and pulls everyone right back in again. So if you want all the latest royal drama, celebrity scandals, breaking updates, and the stories everyone online is obsessing over, make sure you subscribe to Crown Clash. We cover the biggest royal headlines, the wildest celebrity controversies, and all the internet chaos people can't stop talking about, daily. And trust me, with Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the royal family, this story is far from over.